Welcome back, folks. I wanted to do a little update. My previous video was about working the RK25 hard. I've continued to work it hard, and I just saw something recently that I think some speculations I made from my observations in the last video may have been wrong. So, to be specific, I talked about when I was pulling hard against the stump, I would get to a point where the back wheels would just quit turning, but the front would continue to turn. I speculated that there's some kind of a pressure release on the transmission, and also that the front drive is separate from the rear drive, which seemed odd to me. I've used it a couple of times since then, again, working it hard, pushing out brush, pulling stumps. In addition to the fact that it seemed to have that let off on pull, a couple times I heard a little bit of a squeal. Worked it pretty hard again today, same conditions, and parked it in the pole barn and noticed this wet spot on the floor. Now, there had been one previously. Tires weren't losing any air pressure, and I didn't worry about it. But looking at the tires, and you're not going to be able to see it in the video, it's pretty apparent that some of the rim guard is escaping between the rim and the tire. And so here's what I think's happening. I think that rather than a pressure pop off in the transmission, or the fact that I mentioned that the differential lock didn't seem to really lock, what's really happening is I'm spinning the rims inside the tires. This is the left side on the floor here, and this is the one that wasn't turning when I tried to use the differential lock. So I'm starting to think maybe those guys are spinning in there. Now, of course, there's no inflation data in the owner's manual. When I brought the tractor home, I checked it, assuming that the factory would be right. Fronts were about 20 psi, and the rears were at 12. Those seemed reasonable to me, maybe a little low on the front with the loader, but the 12's consistent. You know, this Farmall Cub of mine, they call for 12, 16 on the furrow wheel when plowing. So same range. So I thought that might be okay, but seeing that, I decided to do a little bit of investigating, and I found the Goodyear tire data book. These are the Titan II tires. And on these rears at 11.2 by 16, Goodyear recommends you inflate them to 18 psi, which is 50% more than the 12. All other things being equal, that'll give me 50% more grab between the wheel and the rims. So I decided to do that. I have marked the tire. If it happens in the future, probably can't see it. I'll know that the tire slipped. On the front, look that up, and Goodyear recommends 24. And what I noticed is you saw the marks on the tire there that I can't read, but looky here on this front tire, that says 24 to 29. I wonder if those aren't instructions to the folks at the factory on how to do these. So as I said, I decided to go ahead and blow these up to 18. A couple things I want to mention here with the rim guard. One is it takes a lot less air to bring it up 6 psi than it would if it was all air, because you've only got air in maybe 20% of the tire. And the other thing is, and this is the side I did first, I just did the right side, and you'll see I've got the valve at the top. When you've got loaded tires, you want to put that valve at the top so you're not leaking any fluid into your gauge and messing it up. So that's what's up with that. So I'm thinking that the differential lock may work, and that like I said, this guy was just spinning in the wheel, and locking the differential didn't have any effect. The other thing I noticed today, I noticed the inspection sticker, and it says, final inspection okay, inspector SJU. Doubt if there's many people spell their names YU in Ohio or Florida. That kind of confirms my suspicion that TYM probably builds the whole tractor and ships it to Rural King, who puts the wheels and tires on. which would explain why we have American tires and wheels on this, and also why they're a different size than TYM has on their specs. They claim they're putting a 8x20 on here, and RK's got an 11x2. So I think they're just shipping the tractor in without wheels and tires, and I think Rural King puts on things like loaders and backhoes, third function valves, and that. So I just wanted to update because I thought I said some things that were wrong before. Still thrilled with the tractor, and as I come across new things, I'll try to share them. Thank you.